This is a Pele Media podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in again to Goonies Minute. Goonies Minute is the fan podcast where we carefully explore the movie Goonies minute by minute. I'm Brady.
And this is Chris.
And today we're covering minute number 33 of Goonies. Chris, how you doing?
That's a good question, Brady, because I have been stuck in traffic for the last hour and a half. And I can tell you this, they have the worst drivers ever in the town of Baton Rouge and surrounding areas.
Yep.
And it absolutely disgusts me how the smallest thing on the side of the interstate can cause people to be unable to function. The slightest rain causes people unable to function. It's like, oh, it's raining, let's everybody get out on the street. So as I was driving today, or actually as I was sitting in my car in the parking lot they call Interstate 12, I decided to record myself doing different voices, different lines, and things like that. And I just solidified to myself that I'm a great American poet, although I'm a little bit more uncensored when I'm in that situation, and as opposed to when I'm getting into the minute. So I'm thinking about calling myself the hardcore poet.
I like that.
You like that?
I can see you wearing that shirt. Or having that bumper sticker on your car.
If I wasn't already taken by a lovely woman, then I could put that shirt on and go to the bars, and they'd flock to me like white on rice.
Yeah, I'm sure that would happen.
Either way. But I just feel like getting into the minute right now.
Yeah, let's please get into the minute. Hardcore poet. In the previous minute, we saw Ma Fratelli sit the boys down and give them each a glass of rusty-looking water. At 33 minutes, she slaps the table and tells them all to drink it. At 33 minutes and 4 seconds, Mikey asks where the men's room is. At 33 minutes and 7 seconds, Chunk runs over to Mikey and says that it's not the kind of place he wants to go to the bathroom in. Ma Fratelli asks why not. As Chunk begins to explain his reasons, he spots someone carrying what can only be a body bag in the next room. He leans over to Mikey and says, "Like dead things, Mikey, dead things." At 33 minutes and 20 seconds, Mouth starts to mess with Mikey as he pours 2 glasses of water back and forth into each other. At 33 minutes and 25 seconds, Ma tells Mikey that the bathroom is downstairs and the first door on the right. She emphasizes "to the right" by screaming it. At 33 minutes and 34 seconds, Mikey finds himself at the top of a staircase that leads down into a dark, damp hallway. He accidentally hits his head on the swinging light bulb as he pulls out the map. He announces, "I know you're down here, One-Eyed Willie." At 33 minutes and 50 seconds, we hear an enormous roar from the end of the hall. Mikey turns and says, "What the hell was that?" Against his better judgment, he starts down the hall. And thus ends minute 33 of the Goonies. So, we see some cool stuff going on here, as I say with every minute, because it's true. And I think one of the things I like most about this minute is the fact that we see Mikey saying, "You know what? I'm not wasting any more time. I've got to make this work for me. We're this far into this quest, and I'm not going to sit here and have this woman and this crazy man try and control my situation and screw this up for me. Nor am I going to have my friends here wasting my time. I've got to get down to it. So I'm going to manipulate this woman by acting like I really have to pee." And so he starts using that in order to get further underground, back towards the bathroom, and just see what's there. Would this help lead to the rich stuff? So I think it's cool that he starts to manipulate people, especially adults, to get somewhere.
I thought it was great acting by Mikey trying to convince Ma Fratelli that he has to go take a leak. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
He did a great job of making it look like he was about to pee on himself.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When I watched this the first time, you wouldn't know that he really doesn't have to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know necessarily what his plan is and why he's acting like that. So I think that's really cool that despite all these things that are going on, he thinks to do that because he has that one-track mind right now to save the day and go find the rich stuff. And despite what Chunk is saying, and despite his other friends being there, left with these dangerous people,
yeah, exactly,
he's going to put himself in an even more dangerous situation to go on his own to try to get a look and see what's underneath that restaurant.
And that just further goes towards this idea that Mikey is a pirate. This is what I've got to do. the casualties of it do not matter. They couldn't be any further from my mind. The bad things that could happen to me. I've got to try. I'm on this quest to do this thing that I've got to do. He is a pirate.
And also, you have seen in the last few minutes that the one voice of reason for danger and knowing
is Chunk.
And he does it again right here when Mikey starts saying that he has to go to the bathroom. You know, he's like, not this place. You don't want to go to the bathroom here. You know, and well, another thing I find pretty cool is the way it's one of the few times that Ma Fratelli, oh, why wouldn't you want to go here? Why is that? You know, she says that after he says something that you don't want to go to the bathroom here. So it's almost like she almost immediately sounds motherly just for a second.
Yeah.
Like or
Okay.
almost sounds like your friend because that's what she says. She said, why not?
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. I don't know. It just shows that she's sadistic.
It's sadistic. Yeah, it's definitely sadistic.
So maybe
like,
not
why?
nice, but just it's a change in her tone.
I think it's an ego thing because she's like, "Oh, you're too good for this."
Well, and that's another way you can look at it too.
Yeah.
You know?
What I think is cool is that it's so interesting that the tables have turned here between Mikey and Chunk. I mean, in the beginning, Chunk just was ranting and raving about all the stuff that he was saying. And, you know, was so energetic about doing all this stuff. Mikey was the one saying, guys, let's not go in the attic. Let's not do this. Let's not do that. And now Mikey is just, there's no alternative. He has to do this. And Chunk is the one saying, like, let's get out of here. Let's go.
Chunk is on to it, and he sees another bag. You see the body.
Yeah, Francis
we can't say we know it's a body, but we see another. We know that's what it is because we've seen the movie. Yeah. But they see another large bag, and then the other thing is you hear Chunk say dead things.
Yeah.
So he's on to it. Chunk is on to it. The others aren't paying attention or they just don't even care at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So Mouth is sitting there pouring the glasses.
Yeah.
You're gonna just being who he is.
Hey, Mikey.
Yeah. I was at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival back in 2003. And the main event there was Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. They were
who won an award at that festival? Huh? who
did? I did.
Okay.
What was I? 18 at the time. Something.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that in a Patreon edition.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to your story.
Well, so Sean Astin was in Lord of the Rings, and he's walking up the red carpet thing, signing some autographs, and one of my older brothers started yelling out, "Hey, Mikey!" And apparently Sean Astin looked at him and laughed or whatever and walked over and signed an autograph. And my brother was like, so Goonies 2, when is it going to happen? And Sean Astin was like, man, I can't wait. If I could do it today, I would do it. Which is kind of cool to hear. Now, granted, that was,
This was right before the restraining order was signed, right?
Yeah, probably.
No, I'm joking.
It was funny that, he recognized that and responded to the "Hey, Mikey" thing. So,
well, I mean, it really got his career started. So
this movie did, yeah, absolutely. And
I like when actors or actresses can go back to their first big gig and appreciate a fan. As long as somebody's not being, crazy about it. I equally don't appreciate when someone has a problem with it.
Yeah.
As long as it's within reason and it's respectful, it shouldn't be a big deal. You talk about when he's pouring that quote-unquote water back and forth, I was trying to figure out, wonder what type of liquid that is. It could either be Purple Haze beer.
I'm pretty sure it's water with food coloring and not Abita Purple Haze beer.
I'm pretty sure it's not Abita Purple Haze, but I was trying to think of what. I don't even think that was around then.
No.
But there is some bubbling going on there other than just the pourings. I don't know. I was just trying to figure out what it could be.
I'm sure it's just water with food coloring, maybe soap. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the sophisticated part of the movie to try to figure that out.
So anyway, we're starting to really get into the scarier side of the exploration of this thing. I mean, we are starting to get underground into the caves, and we end with the first sign of Sloth. We end with that roar and him saying, "What the hell is that?"
And they were, but you notice before Mikey went down there, Ma Fratelli, stay to the right. She says it 3 times, and I want to talk about that in the sense that she knows Sloth is down there.
Yeah,
I think it's almost like, is she letting her guard down, allowing him to even go down there? That's kind of, or did she really think that he was gonna just follow the instructions of her to stay to the right. I find that interesting because I know if I was a serial killer and I didn't plan, or I was criminals like this and I didn't plan on killing them, which I don't think they're planning on killing them at this point, I'd say you can go outside. But then again, that might make it look more weird.
Their goal...
I'm just trying to think of...
No, I got you. And I think you're right. I think Ma Fratelli's goal with Jake was get these kids in here, serve them water, and let them go on their way so that, one, we don't have to worry about killing kids, and two... they're
not going to go tell anybody.
Yeah, and if they tell something, they just say, we went to a restaurant, we were served, and we left. And no adult, no whatever, would have a reason enough to want to go investigate. Yeah, right. Exactly. So I think that's just one more part in her plan is to, yes, we have a bathroom, yes, go, but stay to the right. Stay to the right. And, of course, that's just going to fuel his desire to go to the left.
I wonder how bad that bathroom really did smell.
Look at that restaurant, look at that cave. I wonder. But she screwed up because would you have sent, especially if it's a kid that, a customer, we'll call them customers in quotes, if you're trying to make this look as an inconspicuous situation as possible, would you send them down into that dank-ass cave? No.
No, and I'm sure she knows
screwing up.
That Sloth is not one to...
Stay quiet.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's a monster.
So she's really screwing up here. Just like that.
It's disgusting. I was always afraid of Sloth.
Yeah, Sloth is scary. Even after you find out that
he's good. He always repulsed me.
Yeah.
It wasn't cute. It wasn't sweet. He disgusted me at every level.
You talk about...
His breath, his ears moving when he talked.
Yeah.
It made me want to puke.
Yeah, you talk about a performance. I'm really looking forward to getting into that because Sloth is one of the biggest takeaways from this. Excuse me. One of the biggest takeaways from this movie is the character, the design, the performance.
And we'll
just
talk
the
more
idea.
about the actor.
That's right. Yeah.
Later on, probably actually in the next minute. We'll
I
get
know.
More about him.
I don't want to get too excited, but I really can't wait to get into that because Sloth is one of the biggest icons from this iconic movie, and it's such a strange addition. But we're going to save that for...
You think it's, you talk about Mikey, he had the map out when he was down there walking past the bathroom. When he hears Sloth's moan, scream, snarl, whatever he roars, sound like a bear, actually.
Yeah.
He does get sidetracked for a second. You see him roll the map back up. And he goes towards that noise. I don't know if I would have gone towards that noise.
I would not have. I would have gone right back upstairs.
I would have run and got the heck out of there.
Me too. But again, this is a fearless kid who was so blinded by his quest. He's completely blinded by his goal and willing to go towards stuff like this. So
that's pretty much all I have, Brady,
that's all
for
I've
this
got.
minute.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we will go ahead and conclude minute 33 and get into minute 34 tomorrow. And until then, this is Brady.
And this is Chris.
And we're here to remind you that Goonies never say die. Goonies Minute is a fan-supported podcast. If you like the show, then leave us a review on iTunes. You can find us at GooniesMinute.com, Facebook.com/GooniesMinute, Twitter.com/GooniesMinute, and at Instagram @GooniesMinute. You can contact us at GooniesMinute@gmail.com. You've been listening to a Pele Media podcast. For premium content and exclusive podcasts, visit us at Patreon.com/Pele Media. Check us out on Facebook at Facebook.com/Pele Media, and follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/Pele Media.